Welcome to the American Clay stencil video. We're going to show you some specific techniques on ways that you can dress up a wall once you've done either the first coat or second coat or on top of the second coat.
Stenciling is one of the many artistic elements that can be added to any American Clay plaster wall.
Step one, you're going to apply the stencil to the wall just so that you have the outline of your decorative piece. In doing that, you're going to pay attention to positioning and location. The next step is actually applying your plaster over the stencil with your trowel. Being careful to not lift the stencil because that can get material under it. And there's a good example right here of that.
He's being very sure that there's not extra plaster building up on the surface. He keeps his trowels clean at all times.
As you're applying that, make sure you get even coverage, being careful not to go beyond the borders, but laying on a nice even thin coat. So before you move, once that stencil has been pulled nice and thin, and before you completely remove the stencil, after about 30 seconds you want to lightly compress the material over the stencil. And last, you're going to actually remove the stencil. This is as complicated as it sounds, removing the stencil. Pointing to an area where there is some carryover from when that stencil lifted. If you're careful in your application, you can avoid that.
If you want to continue the stencil next to the first take, you can then carefully move the stencil over and repeat that process. So you have a continuation of the pattern.
Now, the location where you do your stencil work can vary. This is an example of just a paint stencil over a finished coat of American Clay. The next stencil is actually a coat of plaster on top, and there's a depth difference in how it looks in the image. The next stencil is showing that same material on top of the second coat, but we brought a finished coat up to it to give sort of a window type of effect or a different look. The next one is a more antique look where the stencil was done prior to doing the finished coat and we fully covered it, and we just revealed some aspects. This one was we revealed and wore back through to the base coat to give sort of a very warm or antique look. And the last one is a very crisp, smooth reveal where we use porcelana to do the stencil on the second coat and a coat of porcelana over the top. The following examples are just other designs that can be acquired and utilized to give you sort of a design background of the stencils that are available out there. American Clay does bring in a great stencil work from a company called Raised Expectations, and you can order those from us at American Clay. If you get a chance, join us for the American Clay Artistic class, because we go through all the different layers where you can do stencils and how to create different techniques. And also contact us for more specific details as to how to do different techniques at different levels. But join us for the artistic class and you'll have a great time.